What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim, back with another video, and today I'm talking to you guys about Destiny 2's live stream event. The only question I have walking away from this event is what console or platform am I going to get it on? And if that isn't a first world problem, I don't know what is. But this live stream answered all the questions that I have had, that I've been wondering about Destiny 2. And you know there's going to be more to come at E3. You know that Sony's probably going to close out their keynote with something related to Destiny, some exclusive weapon or map or whatever. But wow, let's dive into this a little bit. Let's talk through this, at least what we know so far. First and foremost, the game has totally been revamped. And I think that that is a very important aspect of this live stream because they keep mentioning it over and over and over. Built from the ground up, the most expansive maps we've ever done. Crucible built from the ground up with the player in mind, with this in mind, with that in mind. And I'm like, okay, this is really good. Because as much as I love Destiny 1, there were a lot of problems with it. And you guys probably had a chance to check out my video I did about a week ago talking about my hopes and dreams of Destiny 2. And I could say that most of my hopes and dreams have been answered. First and foremost, they talk about how it's going to be this open, detailed world where it's good. The map that they showed reminds me of like the Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft, very busy map where there's tons of objectives to do all over the place. There's hidden treasures, there's bounties, there's side missions. It's not like the original Destiny where you beam down to a planet to do one very specific thing and then leave. That would be very boring and exactly what the original Destiny was. And I don't think anybody really liked that. They're getting rid of it. Furthermore, you can actually teleport now from world to world without any going to orbit, which is really cool for the loading screen that we had to endure for months. We don't have to look at that crap anymore. So you're going to get this nice open world feel to it. Obviously, the weapon system and super abilities have been reworked. Now you're going to get to carry two primary weapons and a secondary weapon. Right now, the main weapon is going to be kinetic damage, which is the white damage, if you recall. That doesn't have any perks or buffs to it. That's just your standard run-of-the-mill gun, whatever it happens to be, right? The second slot is going to actually be for your enhanced weapon that has your really cool perk on it, like Zalo Supercell, for example, had built-in arc damage or something like that. And then the last slot is going to be for heavy weapons, and they have added a slew of new heavy weapons. They were switching weapons like fiends today to really kind of show off all that you could do. I saw a grenade launcher in there, which looked really cool. And I saw this kind of Gatling gun thing that reminded me of the heavy weapons guy from Team Fortress. Took a couple seconds to spin up, but then it just laid down some serious firepower. I did not see the heavy machine gun. I've read reports that potentially that weapon's gone, so I'm not too hurt by that. I like that they're adding new weapons. I did see they added a submachine gun, which looks to be, you know, kind of that distance between a hand cannon and an assault rifle. That looks like it'll be a lot of fun. They haven't really unveiled too much in terms of what weapons were, but I can say in playing the first Destiny for a very long time, I never really got bored of the type of weapons there were or the unique perks that they had. And if they're designing the weapons in the same way that they're designing everything else, the biggest, the best ever, you know we're going to get even more stuff than we got the first time. And I thought we had plenty the first time. So I think this is a good thing. If anything, I hope that they learned their mistakes from Diablo. And I know that Activision is not Bungie. Bungie is not Blizzard, and I'll talk about that in a second. But Diablo 3's perk system was trash when it came out, and a lot of people wanted a lot more variant in gameplay, and they didn't get it. So now that Activision and Blizzard are parent companies, I can only hope that they've talked to some of the Blizzard crew and realized, hey, if we're going to add a lot of weapon perks, we need to add a lot of weapon perks. So I'm hopeful for that. On top of the revamped weapon system, they're going to have, like I said, all this open world stuff. they're going to add clans. So the infamous DBDG army, which I am a proud card-carrying member of, could represent on the PC Master Race if we want to. And what's really cool about the clan system is that it ties into matchmaking. So they talk about how more than 50% of the players did not get to experience a lot of the endgame content due to the overarchingly freaking so frustrating, non-existent matchmaking system in Destiny. Whether you downloaded apps or you begged people on Reddit or you went on different websites, it was so hard to find a crew to do Nightfall, which was 3 participants, let alone a raid, which was 6. That was a very, very, very hard thing to do. Now, I was lucky enough to go through each raid one time. I never beat Oryx. I got to the his daughters or the sisters right before him. That's good enough. It is like roping, goats, cat herding, whatever your favorite, describer is of so frustrating, overly frustrating things to get 6 people together. And obviously you're one of them, so 5 people. But still, it's very difficult to do. They said in Destiny 2 they're going to fix that. They're going to add clans with clan perks. That seems like something that they probably borrowed from World of Warcraft. I'm okay with that. So the clan's going to, as you kill people, you're going to get different emblems and rewards and gear. Recall that Halo 5 did this as well with the coveted Achilles armor and Achilles helmet, which, we grind through on Halo 5. So you're going to get that kind of unique perk stuff. But the cool thing is clans are going to be able to shepherd people through the game with one-off players. So one-off players, they're calling the system guided games. So say you have a clan of 4 dudes and you need fillers. The idea is that the clan is kind of the leader of the group in a sense, and then they're just kind of drafting people that they need to fill in the slots. So if you're picked up as a free agent, you're not going to have much say in, overall strategy or whatever. So they're kind of playing with that system. In this case, the system being, they're going to kind of shepherd you through because maybe you don't know what you're doing. The hope is that you start playing with new people. It's commitment free on both parts, but that you end up enjoying the people you play with and ultimately join the clan and pad the numbers and all those great things. So that is really cool. I'm really excited for that. Matchmaking is sorely missing in Destiny 1. So to bring that into Destiny 2 is great. They've also said that there's going to be a lot of work done on the competitive front with the Crucible. They talked about new game modes. Nothing that didn't surprise me, other than they did say they were going to finally do an attack and defend, kind of like a payload objective. Something similar to Overwatch maybe, where you have to wait and see. They didn't really talk too much about it. But they're going to be adding new Crucible modes. It's going to be 4-on-4. You don't know about dedicated servers. That's the one thing I don't know. And that's what leads me into some of the concerns that I have. We don't know if there are dedicated servers. Nothing is more frustrating than playing with some guy who's got an ass ping and you're trying to play and the guy is rubber banding, skipping, jumping, leapfrogging all around the world. You can't get a shot on this dude to save your life. I hate that. We live in 2017, people. There is no reason whatsoever that we should not have dedicated servers on every single online experience that we play. As I record this video, I am playing For Honor. Right now I am playing For Honor. And I will tell you, I just got disconnected because the guy I was playing with had a shitty connection. And that is frustrating. So I would like to see that go away. So the fact that they didn't specifically say dedicated servers has me slightly worried. The other thing I'm not a particularly big fan of is they did not commit to the frame rate on the console. Now, I've read that from the live people who were there, they were playing on PlayStation 4 Pros, which were able to get this pseudo 4K graphic experience, but from everything I read, it was 30 frames a second. You better believe that even though Scorpio is 85 trillion teraflops in power and growing, by the way, that Scorpio is not going to have a better experience than PlayStation 4 Pro. It's going to have that console parity to it. So whatever the PlayStation 4 Pro is capable of, that's what you're going to see on Scorpio, even if that horsepower is sitting there, you know, not really doing anything. I've read reports that maybe they can get the game up to 40 frames a second, but that's just not good enough. It's got to be a 60 frame a second experience. Every competitive shooter that matters today is at least a 60 frame per second experience. Destiny to not do that would absolutely undermine the competitive nature of this. Obviously, Blizzard being affiliated with them, the rise of the Overwatch League, the rise of esports, to start off on a non-60 frame per second experience is a horrible idea. But the game is done. The engine is done. We are in like polish mode now. So it is what it is. And I'm very worried about that. So console players, just keep that in mind. We don't know about dedicated servers. We don't know about frame rate. And I think those are two very important aspects. Now, there is some relief. Mike Morhaime, the CEO of Blizzard, came on via Skype or whatever, pre-recorded message, and said, hey, we're going to launch Destiny 2 through Battle.net's launcher. So you have all your normal games. You have your Overwatch, your World of Warcraft, StarCraft, obviously Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone. Now you're going to have Diablo. Now you're going to have a new one. You're going to have Destiny 2, and that is the only place to buy Destiny 2. So sorry, Gabe. I know you love your 30% cut on everything, but they're not going to play with you. You're going to only be able to get this experience on the Battle.net launcher, which would imply all of the cool things that Battle.net currently does. Your friends list would port over. The way everything works, the one central launcher. You could use your Blizzard bucks to buy stuff if you want to, if there's microtransactions. Most of us hardcore and PC master racers are really dialed into the Battle.net service anyway, so this is a really cool idea. I love this. That is our reprieve for all this nonsense that I see that may be happening on the console. We don't know yet. We're not going to find out till E3. We're not going to find out till Sony's press conference at E3 what exactly this thing is capable of. Or at least we'll see more gameplay that's not so scripted, where I feel like we're going to get a little better experience. And when I'm at E3, I'm going to go up to Activision and I'm going to look them right in the eye and say, no, I'm not. But I'm going to see if I can find out because I am curious. But PC Master Racers, we're going to get unlocked frame rates. We're going to get 4K support, 21:9 ratios, all these wonderful things. The only thing I still don't know about is dedicated servers. I'm still not happy about that. But you're going to be able to do hotkeys on your keyboard. So no more scrolling through weapon wheel, no more holding triangle to switch to your heavy. You're going to be able to roll it with your mouse wheel. You're going to be able to plug in your Xbox One Elite controller if you'd like to. You're going to be able to do some wonderful things. And that is the system I'm now leaning towards because of that, because of the frame rate. I really had my heart set on a 60 frame per second shooter experience. I've been so spoiled with Gears of War and Halo 5 and Titanfall and Battlefield 1 and the upcoming Call of Duty. Destiny not doing that is such a step back. And I know I'm harping on that, but to me, that was the biggest negative I took away. Everything else, though, is there. The mechanics look great. The story looks very well fleshed out. All the optional things you can do on the map and explore and all these different missions showing you where all the different timed events are. So no longer are you constantly relying on third-party websites to figure out, to try to grind an event, defending the war set or whatever. It's all going to be built into the game. You're going to be able to teleport around from world to world. There's 4 new worlds. Seems like a very robust, fleshed out story. All the new supers. Everything about this game gets me hyped up beyond belief. I cannot wait for it. So I just wanted to give my overarching opinion on that because, as you guys know, Destiny is so important to my channel and obviously my time as a gamer in the last 3 years. I mean, I have a Destiny PlayStation. I am a huge Destiny fan. And it only makes sense that I would get Destiny 2 on PlayStation, right? But then you think, well, geez, I love my friends that I've made on Halo 5. That we grinded out so much Halo 5. We're gonna grind out Destiny. I'm gonna get to see all the best content and use that sweet, sweet Xbox One controller. No brainer, I'm getting it on Xbox One. And then I look at my friends on the PC Master Race, the brothers I play with every single night who are on, even if it's like 10 in the morning or 10 at night on a work night and we're up till like 1 or 2 in the morning playing Heroes of the Storm. Very tight-knit community of guys, super, into gaming, and, we would play this game very tactfully. And obviously the DBDG army would represent. So no doubt I have to get it for a computer, right? That's my dilemma. First world problems, one I'm very, very thankful to be part of. I'm glad that Bungie put this together. I think it answered a lot of questions. And I think a lot of us are very excited to see where this will ultimately go. That's my thoughts on everything Destiny. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Get out there, dust off those Guardians, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.